So in this particular session, we are going to learn about how we can submit the catalog request from the cloud portal. So this is the cloud user portal, and we can launch the stock stack from here. We have when we clicked on the launch stack, we can see multiple stacks available here, which is created for that particular user group. We can once we open this particular catalog request, we can see all the fields from the information tab which we need to fill up. It is location of the data center, then business related fields like cost center application. We need to fill the cloud account and the stack name. We also need to fill which user group we will be using for the quota check, and the resource group name along with the time zones. So all these details we are requested to fill up while creating this catalog. These fields can be modified as per the business requirements. You can change the field types, you can change the values inside it, you can change the way it looks like, sequencing and all. So it will be done similar to the way which we do in the normal service catalog. The same way we need to change all these attributes after creating the cloud catalog from the ARM template. So once we are done with this, we need to click on next, and it will come up to the next provision tab. The provision tab, we basically have the technical, more specific details about the virtual machine, where we can input the admin username, password, and the IP related information, which IP segment it is going to be used, and the prefix of the DNS label. Along with this, we will be selecting the standard or non-standard and those specific information about the public SQL. Then we will be selecting the operating system, OS, image here, and we have a couple of items available. It can be added to the list as well. We can also select the size of the virtual machine, which indicates the configuration of it, the memory utilization, memory allocated, and the CPU allocated. We have the name field, uh, which is for the VM name, and we have the location of that particular on which it will be hosted, will be ACS for us, and the information like public IP name of that particular. So all this information and the static or dynamic IP. So all this information we can fill up and submit the request. So this particular request are a couple of 3 to 4 scenarios we will be testing for the failed scenarios. So I will be helping you out to troubleshooting these all steps, and we can see what is coming into the log if we fill the wrong information. So now you can see the first error is because of the cannot resolve the mid server for API request. So mid server is actually down, and that's why this error is received. We can see that mid server is needs to be up. Start the mid server and raise the request again. Meanwhile, we will wait for the couple of minutes. So now we are back to our request, and we will be submitting the second time another request. So we will be filling almost same details, but the mid server is up, so we are expecting that it should complete. So this is the string which is stating that for the DNS prefix, which is stating that it's how the particular value is expected in this particular field. So we'll check if mid server is active or not. Yeah, it is active, and we are good to submit the request. So once we submit the request, now this time we will be expecting some another error. So we'll see what is that error now. And here we go. We got the failed with status code 400, and the reason for that is the location of this particular given in the catalog is incorrect. So we need to give the specific location. So now we have to go again and create a new request for launching a stack with correct location. So this time we will give the specific location into the field as East US. We can skip non-mandatory fields as well. So we will be submitting all these details again. So all this field, if we required, we can hard code or we can write a script on this so that it will be populated based on some logic. So whenever the end user will be requesting, uh, that end user has to submit or fill very minimal fields. So that thing we can take care while optimizing this particular catalog here. We have put East US as a template location. That was the field which was cause error last time. Now we are submitting again. Now this time we will be expecting another error. So we can verify in this particular console, Azure console, if the virtual machine is created or it is in progress. Yeah, and we can see the new error now. This error is for the that specific DNS name field. That label is not correct. So we will go ahead and give the correct value for that field. So now in the DNS label prefix, we can put think the browser got closed. So let me submit it again. So there was some issue, like mistakenly I closed the browser, so we need to submit that request again. So we will put test1 as a DNS label prefix. This particular test1 is already available in our system. Okay, so there is one virtual machine where this test1 is assigned to. So we are repeating this particular test1 again to show you that if any object which is already present and allocated to some other virtual machine, Azure will not allow that. So we should expecting an error here that the test1 is already allocated to some other resource. Yeah, and see the error, and you can see the error. The test1 is already allocated to another IP. So we are going to launch a new stack again. This is again, I think, fourth to fifth time we are raising the new request, and this is the final. We will have all the uh, parameters or values submitted correctly. So this time the uh, catalog request will be successful. So we'll make sure that all the parameters are correct. You can write a script to have a standard or default password as well in this particular field. So all the way we can customize the normal catalog of the way we can customize. Similar way we can customize this cloud catalog as well. So this time we are submitting this and we are expecting that it should be successful. So best of luck, and we'll wait for it to successful result. So on the this particular site, right hand side stack status, you can see that all the logs which is going one by one, green, and orange one which is showing as in progress. So it is proceeding with those step-by-step activities, and it is performing those component creation into the Azure. So based on that, it will show you the progress, and finally it will show that the deployment is successful. So we'll wait for it. It will take a couple of minutes. It is depend on what are the provisioning and additional configuration which you are performing. So in the customer environment, it usually take 15 minutes to 1 hour for provisioning one virtual machine or workspace. So that much of time it might take if you have very specific configuration and customer specific requirement to add a custom image for the deployment. You can see that these steps are progressing correct way, and yeah, last step of virtual machines is remaining. We can check meanwhile into the Azure as well if it is got created or not. Yeah, the deployment is successful, and congratulations. So that virtual machine is created successfully. You can click on the view stack details. You will find all the components here, and the details about the request. all those will be belongs to CMDB. So CMDB records will be automatically created. The virtual machine instance record will be also automatically created. If you have enabled the cloud events, those events will be also get landed to this particular job, this particular tab from the cloud event table. So you can see now all those are failed request, and the one request is successful. So when we click on this, we can see these details about it. These are the records, the information about that stack, and it shows that a stack is assigned to this particular user. Now we'll check into the Azure as well. See that virtual machine is created and it is in stopped or the deallocated status initially. You can also write a PowerShell scripts, or maybe you can include that PowerShell script in your ARM template, which can start the server once it is created. Those steps you can also automate into the workflow, or maybe in the flow designer of this particular flow which is written inside for the actions, and you have also the ways to do that in the PowerShell. So we will try to connect to this particular virtual machine using the RDP. We'll download the RDP connector and we will try to log into it. So this is the same username and password which we had given. So in this case, you can also get user added or domain user which is to the system, and you can also have user to be added to the specific domain group, so that that user will have access on this particular virtual machine. And whenever the virtual machine details is shared with user on email notification, user will be directly able to log in with the details, username, password, which is on the AD side. So based on uh, the group which we have user is added to. So we can see the machine is preparing, and here we go. It's available. We'll check the drives if it is allocated the correct drives, C drive and D drive, which was supposed to system drive and the temporary drive. So yeah, we have both one. We'll minimize the show here and go to our back to our details. So here in this particular virtual machine which is created, you can check the details, the public IP of it, the private IP of it, which is assigned, and so here you can see that operations. So we can try with the operation to stop the particular virtual machine or start the particular virtual machine. So this operation will be initiated with API call, and it will stop the virtual machine at the Azure end. It will also create a request for this particular changes, so it will be tracked within the stack, and it will not be a change without a request. So all those operations which we can perform from here is start, stop, and changing the schedule, deprovision, all those operations are available from the by default, and we can take a benefit of it. We can call these operations via a different consoles or different APIs as well, so that it can be utilized in different consoles. Yeah, you can see that this request is completed, and we can verify into the Azure what is the status of particular virtual machine. Yes, it is stopped, so that it is successful. Now we'll try to start the virtual machine again from the service now, and we'll check if get started successful. We'll create a separate request for that. Yeah, here we go. It is successful, and we can check if it started. It will take a few seconds to reflect it into the Azure. Yeah, so virtual machine is running now, and it means it is started. So all the start and stop operation is successful. You can also initiate the deprovision operation. We are not going to click on OK. We don't want to deprovision as of now. So we'll keep it as is. You can try that from your end, deprovisioning. And the same way, it will create a request, and it will remove the virtual machine. So another important thing is we can also uh, raise this particular catalog from the different way from the service portal. We need to add that particular service portal into the catalog. So you can see we can search with the same name of that catalog, and we can find it here since we have added that catalog to the service portal. Now once we added it, we can see that the same catalog is appeared here with all the attributes. We can fill all these attributes the same way, and we just have to submit the request. In this case, we can limit this number of attributes for the end users and hard code it, or maybe put some logic to auto populate it in the backend. So on this, we are closing our session here. Thank you for joining this, and thank you for going for this particular wonderful session. Nice talking with you, and have a great learning and experience into cloud management. Thank you.